Man, shit is so cooked these days that you might as well just chase your dreams, man. You have a much better chance of succeeding if you just chase your dreams instead of trying to go down the same life script that everyone has been doing for the past 80 fucking years. Why not just go all in on your dreams, man? Because do I even have to go down the list of all the ways in which this economy is a complete and total joke? Like right now, it's graduation season. So you have all these parents and relatives and all these college students posting graduation pics as if they're not about to enter the worst job market of all fucking time. Like, where are the people, all of the people saying congratulations to these new graduates? Where are they going to be when these graduates can't find a job in the next year? Do you think they're going to be as supportive? Or are they going to be like, why are you still such an unemployed bum? Do you think they're going to be all, we're so proud of you for this amazing achievement? Fuck no. I know because I went through it. I graduated 4 years ago during a year in which everybody was telling me how amazing the labor market was. There's never been a better time to look for jobs. That's what I was told over and over and over again after I graduated in 2022. Guess how long it took for me to find my first job? It took me like 7 months, and that ended up being a pyramid scheme. So I left after the first day, obviously. And then after that, it took me another 5 months to find a job. That ended up being a piece of shit job too that I hated. And I left after, well, actually, I got fired after like 6 weeks. But you get my point. Like, if that was supposed to be a booming job market, imagine how bad it is now. So, if you're trying to go down this life path where you graduate from school and you're going to apply for jobs, and then you're just going to work your way up the corporate ladder, like, I'm telling you, you're already setting yourself up for failure. And look, don't take it from me. There are so many people that you can find online who have worked at companies for decades, and all of a sudden they're just laid off. And then, what happens then? They can't find another job because these companies want younger workers. And guess what? The younger people, they can't find jobs either because the companies have realized that they can just train an AI to do the job, or they can bring in some immigrant to do the job for like 10 times less. So after like months, years after these graduates can't even find their first job out of college, like, what are they going to do? I'm betting that a lot of them are probably just going to work at Target, at Walmart, at McDonald's or whatever. But honestly, I don't even think that's even plausible because these days, those companies don't even want you if you have a bachelor's degree because they see you as like someone who is trying to have a better job and you're overqualified. So they would much rather have somebody who just has a high school degree. So you're in this position where you don't have enough experience to even get a entry-level job, which requires like 10 years of experience now. And you're overqualified for all of these service jobs that people would rather have high schoolers work. So what do? Like, at that point, I think a lot of people in this situation, they think, oh, well, having a bachelor's degree is not enough. I need a master's degree. So they apply for graduate school, take the GRE, and then several years later, several tens of or hundreds of thousands of dollars later, they've not now got a master's degree. But guess what? A lot of those people are probably still going to be in the exact same situation. So now what? Now you got to get a PhD. So now you're spending over another decade of your life in school just so you can get a job in whatever field you graduated in. But it's like, let's say you even do get a job. What's even the point? Because these companies are just going to look for whatever ways to replace you, whatever ways to lay you off because they're trying to appease private equity. I'm telling you, all of this shit is rigged because I've been down this path where I was just collecting degrees and certifications and things like that. I'm telling you, it just leaves you empty. And it's like the goalposts are constantly moving away from whichever certification, whatever degree that you just got. And it'll always leave you feeling like you just need one more qualification to stack on your resume. Well, let me tell you, the kingdom of God is within you, man. And I wish I knew this earlier, because if I did, I wouldn't have wasted so much time trying to appease all of these different companies that are never going to give a shit about me to begin with. I realized this like 2 years ago when I was working some job that wasn't even related to what I studied. And I was just like, you know what? This is such bullshit. I'm living such an empty existence, and I'm watching my youth slip away. And like, what even is the point of this? I do this for 10, 20, 30, 40 years just to just get by. I mean, like, housing prices are not coming down. So you're going to continue working 40 hours a week for a company that doesn't give a shit about you, that can lay you off at any time, all just to just get by. Not even like save enough money for a house or a car or anything like that. Like, you can barely even participate in consumerism, which is what this fake economy is supposedly built upon. And instead, you just have to work paycheck to paycheck. And before you know it, you're like, what, 50, 60 years old, and you realize you haven't done a single thing that you wanted to do when you were young. And I'm telling you, that feeling is going, I feel bad for the people who have that feeling, man. I realized that that's where I was headed if I wasn't going to take action on the things that I actually wanted to do, which was travel around the world, get to see all these different places that I've always wanted to see, experience other cultures, experience what it was like to live in another country. And you know what? So I just made a plan. I saved up money. I lived at home so I didn't have to spend 90% of my paycheck on rent. And I made a few good investments. And so in, I'd say, mid 2024, I just quit my job and I did a summer gig. And then I traveled all around Asia for about 5 to 6 months. And to be honest, I think I made a separate video on that whole experience. I'm not going to talk about that whole era of my life, but once you do something that is so true to your heart that you don't feel like doing just because society says you have to do this, just because you're following some kind of script that was imposed upon you by society from the time that you were little. Once you do something that is actually near and dear to your heart, that is very genuine to you, I'm telling you, there's no going back from that, because you realize that everything else is kind of just people following some script, never questioning what they were taught when they were little, and what they went to school for. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people just don't ever realize this until it's too late. Now, maybe some people are going to say that that was a reckless thing to do. You should have just grinded on your career, saved up a little bit more so that you can plan it a little bit better. Yeah, I can see that maybe I could have planned things a little bit better, but I have no regrets, man. And when I'm 40, 50 years old, even if I just have a regular job, even if I'm somewhat in the same position as I am, I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. But worst case scenario, let's say that I'm still working some job when I'm 40 or 50. I'm not going to look back on that 5, 6 month trip that I took around the world and met so many amazing people, had so many amazing experiences. I'm not going to look on that part of my life and regret it. Okay. I feel like it would have been a lot worse if I had stuck with this career chasing mindset, gotten to that point where I'd likely be broke anyway, and then thought back, oh man, when I was 24, 25, I had that chance to I wanted to travel all around the world, and I didn't do it. I just kept putting it off year after year after year until I realized I was like 50 years old. And now, I mean, I could do it, but I probably have kids, a house, responsibilities to do. So these types of things, I really think that you should do these things while you're young, and especially around the time that after you graduate, because let's be honest, you're not going to get your career started anyway, given how fucked this economy is. So again, you might as well just chase your dreams. Now, of course, people are going to say, oh, well, that takes money to do. Okay, yeah, I understand that part. You don't have to do what I did. You can chasing your dreams doesn't have to be expensive. I don't know, man. There are people that just record content of whatever they like to do in their free time, whatever hobbies they like to do, whatever skills they might have, or if you just have something to say about certain topics. And it's honestly there's honestly a lot of opportunity in that. You don't have to restrict yourself to just a job. I mean, I still work. I have a job right now, but I'm using that to save up money. And that's definitely something I recommend other people do. So, I mean, given the way things are, we could complain all day about the economy, the cost of living, and all of that stuff. But the bright side of it is that once we realize that this whole economy, the way this whole system is set up is just a complete scam. And like you might, why are you playing by the rules of the system if the system's not even trying to hide how broken and corrupt and fake it is? So yeah, I mean, given the situation, you might as well just chase your dreams, man. I'll see you on the next one.